Hello, help keep these videos free, current, and available for every student. Consider supporting by scanning the QR code to contribute. Any amount helps. Thank you.
If any part of your project happened at a university, hospital, government lab, or company, really any site other than home, school, or the field, you'll use Form 2C. This form was formerly called 1C. You will fill out this form after the work is done, and it's completed by the supervising adult at that outside site, not by the student. It also needs to be displayed at the project booth, so think of it as your official proof of what you did at that location. Start by making sure the supervising adult has the exact project title and the student name or team names exactly as they appear on the other forms. Consistency across forms prevents delays later. The top of 2C asks for those basics before the supervisor gets into the details of your work at their site. Next, the supervisor will answer a short set of yes or no items that describe the student's experience at the work site. They'll indicate whether you used equipment there or received data, whether your interaction with the group was minimal or you were mentored, whether you worked as part of an ongoing study, or whether your project was independent from the lab's main research. Clear, accurate checkmarks here help reviewers understand the level of support and independence you had. After that, the form asks for a brief description of what independent or creative work you did, especially how you developed your hypothesis or engineering goal. This is where the supervisor highlights your original thinking, not the lab's. A concise, concrete paragraph is perfect. Then the supervisor explains the hands-on part, what you actually did. They'll list the procedures you performed, how you collected data, and importantly, they'll distinguish between what you merely observed and what you personally carried out. This distinction matters for judging and compliance. If the lab provided any data to you, like instrument readouts, archived datasets, or curated files, the supervisor notes that next. This keeps the project transparent about the origin of all data used. There's also a question about whether you worked as part of a group and whether other high school students were present. If yes, the supervisor lists their names and briefly explains how their work was related to or different from yours. This helps reviewers see your unique contribution within a busy research environment. If the project was supported by a grant that needs acknowledgement, the supervisor includes the grant statement. If you're not sure, ask them to check with their institution's norms about acknowledging funding. To wrap up the content, the supervisor adds their attestation. They confirm that the description is accurate and that any required institutional approvals like IRB for human participants, IACC for vertebrate animals, or IBC for biosafety were obtained for the work done at that site. If those approvals apply, copies should be attached with the form. They also acknowledge that your work will be presented publicly and note any review requirements or publication restrictions the institution has communicated. Finally, the supervisor provides their printed name, signature, title, institution, and contact information, plus the date, and that date must be after the e-experimentation at the site poll. They also include a short note about their education, experience, or training. This gives FAIR officials a qualified point of contact who can verify details if needed. A couple of quick success tips before you're done. First, remember that Form 2C is required whenever research is conducted or mentored on-site or virtually, at a regulated research institution, an industrial setting, or any site other than home, school, or field during the project year, and it must be displayed at your booth. Make sure the finished 2C is included with your paperwork and shown at the fair. Second, keep all titles, dates, and site names consistent with your other forms. If you worked at more than one outside site, give each supervising adult a copy of 2C so the work at each site can be documented clearly. And if institutional approvals were required for your work, attach those copies with 2C so your FAIR's SRC can confirm everything quickly. That's it. Share Form 2C with your supervising adult, help them with exact project details, and check that it's signed and dated after your site work. With a complete and clear 2C, reviewers can see exactly what you did, under whose supervision, and that all institutional rules were followed.
Remember, help keep these resources free, current, and available for every student. Consider supporting by scanning the QR code to contribute. Any amount helps. Thank you.